What if your artistic muse wasn't a beautiful sunset, a profound emotion, or a noble idea? What if your entire artistic drive, your singular, all consuming obsession, was seeing a real live penis? That is the beautiful, unhinged premise of Avant-Garde Yumeko. And it could only have come from the mind of one man, Shuzo Oshimi, the master of cringe-inducing psychological horror who gave us modern classics like The Flowers of Evil and Blood on the Tracks. And today we're diving headfirst into this bizarre one-shot that is part comedy, part psychological study, and 100% uncomfortable. We're going deep into the weirdest, most provocative single volumes you'll find on a shelf. This is the kind of stuff we live for on this channel. Manga that challenges you, makes you think, and makes you ask, what on earth did I just read? So if that sounds like your kind of jam, now is the absolute perfect time to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss out on our next deep dive. And hey, while you're down there, give this video a like, a comment with the strangest manga premise you've ever heard. I guarantee Avant-Garde Yumeko will be a top contender. Alright, got that done? Let's get into the story. Our story focuses on the titular Yumiko, a high school girl who comes across a quiet and withdrawn. But beneath that placid surface is a mind running a mile a minute on a single track. She is utterly obsessed with the male form, specifically one part of it. She's never seen a penis in real life, and this curiosity has morphed into a frantic artistic fixation. Her solution? Join the school's art club. Her logic is simple. Art clubs have nude models, right? Well, not exactly. The club is a sleepy, uninspired group led by a lazy advisor. The only other serious member is a timid, anxious boy named Honda. Seeing Honda's passion for drawing, Yumiko concocts a plan. She begins relentlessly pressuring him, first with praise, then with increasingly bizarre and intense demands. She wants him to be her artistic partner, to help her achieve her vision. And that vision requires a model. Her harassment, and let's be clear, it is harassment, escalates from awkward requests to outright emotional manipulation and attempts to physically force him to disrobe. This all culminates in a frenzied, almost terrifying climax where Yumiko, in a fit of pure, unadulterated obsession, finally achieves her artistic breakthrough. In the aftermath of this chaotic event, she doesn't find shame or regret. Instead, she finds a new, clear path for her life. She's going to art school to pursue her singular vision, leaving a very confused and traumatized Honda in her wake. It's a short, sharp, and deeply strange story, but is it any good? Let's start with what I think works well here. First, this is Shuzo Oshimi in his rawest form. Avant-Garde Yumeko was one of his earlier works, and you can see the DNA of all his future masterpieces right here. The core idea is brilliantly unique and unapologetic. In a world of sanitized high school stories, Oshimi just throws this grenade of a premise out there and commits to it completely. The manga is also a fascinating, if disturbing, look at the nature of artistic creation and obsession. Yumiko isn't driven by a desire for romance or connection. She's driven by a clinical, almost scientific curiosity that has become her muse. The story satirizes the idea of the tortured artist who will do anything for their craft. Yumiko sees her own invasive behavior not as wrong, but as a necessary step towards artistic truth. It's a dark, twisted take on the art for art's sake ideal, and I find it very fascinating. And finally, Oshimi's art style is just perfect for this. It's not clean or polished, it's sketchy with thick, frantic lines. When Yumiko gets lost in her obsession, her face contorts into these grotesque, almost demonic expressions. Oshimi is a master of drawing psychological states, and his art makes you feel Yumiko's deranged fixation. It's visceral, uncomfortable, and utterly effective. But, and this is a huge but, this manga is not for everyone. and there are some significant issues that will be deal breakers for many readers. The first biggest hurdle by far is Yumiko herself. She is one of the most single-minded and deeply unlikable protagonists I've ever encountered. She has zero character development outside of her core obsession. She doesn't learn, she doesn't grow, she just escalates. She has no empathy for Honda, viewing him as a tool for her art. And that brings me to the second major problem. Her actions are never challenged. She sexually harasses Honda full stop. She manipulates him, corners him, and tries to assault him. The narrative presents this mostly through a lens of dark comedy and psychological study, but it never passes judgment. The story doesn't condemn her. It ends with her being rewarded with a clear life purpose. For many readers, watching this toxic behavior go unchecked and even lead to a positive outcome for the perpetrator will be incredibly frustrating and off-putting. Finally, because the focus is so laser-tight on Yumiko's obsession, the supporting cast is practically non-existing. Honda is a less of a character and more of a walking bundle of anxiety for Yumiko to bounce off of. He's a prop in the story. This makes the narrative feel a bit thin and repetitive at times. So what's the final word on Avant-Garde Yumeko? This is not a manga I can broadly recommend. It's a sharp, jagged, and provocative piece of work that succeeds entirely on its own terms, but those terms are very specific. You should read this manga if you're already a fan of Shuzo Oshimi and want to see the blueprint for his later, more refined works. If you enjoy dark, psychological stories that explore the messy, uncomfortable side of human nature, if you appreciate transgressive art that prioritizes a singular, challenging vision over likable characters or a satisfying moral arc, then you should read this. You should probably avoid this manga if you need to root for the protagonist. You are uncomfortable with themes of sexual harassment, even when presented in a stylized or psychological context, or if you're looking for a complex plot with well-developed supporting characters. For me, Avant-Garde Yumeko is a flawed but fascinating artifact. It's a testament to a creator who has always been fearless in exploring the deepest, weirdest corners of the human psyche. It's uncomfortable, it's frustrating, and it's also unforgettable. It's a quick read, but it will live in your head rent-free for a long, long, long time. That's my take on Avant-Garde Yumeko. What do you think? Have you read it? Did you find it brilliant or just plain bizarre? Let me know your full, unfiltered thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the weird and wonderful, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay weird, everyone.